My name is Daniel Nwafo, the authentic chairman of APC in Imo State. That's the All Progressives Congress. Today, we received the good news. I received a very gladdening news from the Supreme Court, which has finally thrown away the applications from my party, the APC, trying to illegally remove me as a state chairman of the party. It's been a very long court journey, if I will use that word. It started on the 14th of August 2018. After my election as a state chairman, I was overwhelmingly voted as a state chairman of the party in Imo State. My contender, Ivan Enwerem, went to court, and the court ruled in my favor. The court gave a judgment to say that I'm the authentic chairman, and the court went further to issue a perpetual injunction to the party against removing me and my executives, stopping our tenure, and we got that judgment. And the former national chairman of the party, Mr. Adams Oshomole, in total disregard to the rule of law and obedience to the judgment of court, decided to disobey the judgments. He instituted a caretaker committee, which was illegal, which he tried to enthrone, but it didn't work. And then they went back to the court also to ask the court again to invalidate my judgment again. And the court also refused. The court ruled against them, the FCT High Court. And then the judge asked them to go on appeal. Now, at the time they were trying to invalidate my judgment, they were already almost 21 months out of time. So they asked the court to enlarge time for them to appeal the judgment. At the Court of Appeal, the courts ruled against them and told them that it was really an academic exercise and it was abuse of court process to come back to court to ask for time. So the Court of Appeal ruled against them, and they appealed to the Supreme Court. So this morning, the Supreme Court of the Federal Republic of Nigeria delivered the judgment finally and disposed of the appeal, the enlargement of time appeal, because what they were looking for was a request to enlarge time for them to appeal my judgment. And the judgment was a judgment which reconfirmed me as the legitimate state chairman of the party. So as at this morning, I'm glad to announce that the matter in the Supreme Court, APC against Daniel Nwafo, has been totally decided by the Supreme Court in my favor. Thank you.
Okay, so let's get your reaction.
Okay, my name is Chief Barrister Steve Asimobi. I'm one of Dan Nwafo's lawyer. It's been a very tortuous process lasting over 2 years. And today, to God be all the glory, the apex court of this great nation, the Supreme Court, has finally put to bed every contentment, every argument, every dispute, every doubts over which structure, not just Mr. Daniel Nwafo. We're talking of an executive at the state level, executives at the local government levels in Imo State, executives at the 305 wards, at INEC wards in Imo State. And today, the Supreme Court has affirmed the judgment of the Federal High Court that the party, no organ of APC, has any right to illegally remove them until they finish their tenure, and which is what Supreme Court affirmed today. And the clear implication of this is that all the delegates that have emerged, both at the ward levels, at the local government level, at the state level, at every level of Imo State, for all the processes this while, since his purported denial as the chairman of the party by Adams Oshomole, Buni, Bello, and co. is a nullity. What it means is that every product from any primaries conducted with any delegates, both elected and otherwise, in Imo State is null and void. So I think the party, APC, should go back and if they still have time, do the proper thing by recognizing all the local government delegates and ward delegates and state delegates that are products of the Daniel Nwafo structure all the way from the state level to the ward level. Otherwise, all candidates that have purportedly emerged for be the House of Assembly or even the ongoing state, federal House and Senate primaries we hear that are going on today in Imo State are all exercises in futility. We shall soon make a proper press briefing where we will tell you our next line of action. But as of today, this is the state chairman of the party, Mr. Daniel Nwafo. I'm glad to announce to the world with his executives and all the delegates whose names from his faction, whose names are before the INEC and the party, are the authentic delegates of APC Imo State. Thank you. Okay, gentlemen of the press, you are welcome. Today is indeed a very, very happy day for us. The legal team of His Excellency Senator Rochas Okorocha, even though my principal is not here, Barrister Olanikpeku, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, is also busy trying to enforce some very beautiful orders we got today. If you recall, on Tuesday this week, some men came here from the EFCC and they broke into this house. And they claimed that Senator Rochas jumped bail, and secondly, that there is a matter in court that is being arraigned for a matter in court for which we said we didn't know about. And I've been in the media, I've spoken to a lot of you, and I was very clear about it, that first and foremost, even if there is a matter before Senator Rochas, EFCC does not have a right to go to court, any court anywhere in this world against Senator Rochas, because there is a judgment barring them from doing that by Justice Stephen Pam. He has restrained them from investigating him. He has refrained them from investigating him. He has refrained them from arresting him. The court has restrained him, restrained the AFCC from even instituting actions in court against him, preferring any charges against him. And here, the one coming up in Abuja on Monday has a 17-count charge. While they were doing that, to our surprise, they went, instead of going on appeal against this judgment by Justice Dallop, given on the 6th day of December 2020, last year, just 6th December here, instead of appealing the judgment, they went back to the same Justice Stephen Dallop to reverse himself and to reverse all the orders he has given. Well, I'm glad to announce to you that today, this afternoon, from our Abuja sector, from our firms in Abuja, from our principal, we heard that the Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt refused to reverse itself. That means that this judgment, which allow value of copies, still subsists. They went back to the judge, instead of going on appeal to Court of Appeal, Port Harcourt Division, they went to the same judge to reverse himself. While that application was pending, before Justice Dallop, it wasn't yesterday they filed it, it wasn't on Monday they filed it, it wasn't last week they filed it. While this order was still subsisting, and while they went for the judge to reverse himself, they came and shamelessly carried out that act of coming to a man's house to abduct him like a common criminal, to abduct him. Today, the judge said to them, no, I will not reverse myself. And that means the judgment and all the orders contained therein still stands. So as at today, EFCC said the judgment in Order 8 says that an order is hereby made restraining the first respondents, its officers and men, staff, employees and agents, by whatsoever name called and however described, from further harassing, intimidating, arresting, detaining, or interrogating the applicant, or in any way further breaching the applicant's fundamental human rights guaranteed under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, an African Charter on Human and People's Rights, Ratification and Enforcement Act. This is an order that was not reversed today. This is an order that was reaffirmed by the judge. So this intimidation, harassing him, taking him to court, or purported, even the court case on Monday, I can tell you, has failed on arrival. Except there is no justice system in this country, except there is no rule of law. EFCC is an institution that has a legal department. They have a director of legal. They are under the office of the Attorney General of the Federation of this country. And the Attorney General, consequent upon this judgment, and the letter written by my principal, NNAMDIKANU, wrote a letter to the EFCC chairman on the 26th day of April 2022. And I want to read it to you. And I also avail you of a copy of this document. It reads, wanting violation of order of court by the EFCC with respect to the arrest, preferment of charge, and threat of prosecution of ex-IMO Governor Senator Rochas Okorocha. I want you to underline it, preferment of charge or charges. And it says, the letter 1st April 2022 from NNAMDIKANU, San and Co. on behalf of Senator Rochas Okorocha, written further to previous correspondence on above subject matter refers. A Federal High Court suit number quoted. B, subsisting court case suit number quoted. C, letter dated 3rd June 2021 and signed by the Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Justice, reference number this, quoted. 4, a letter under my hand, Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, a letter under my hand, dated 15th September 2021, is hereby referred also.
Thanks for checking out SYMFONI on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.